In this first set, and the tie-break 7-5. And I must say the last point of that tie-break was quite a gem. Both players playing magnificently. And great stuff.
Yes, it's a wonderful match, and both players showing such courage. Chris, when she was 4-1 down, rushed to the net of her own volition, very bravely winning the 2 points to fight back to 4-3. And then at that point, Hana chooses that moment with a second serve to hit the centre tape and put Chrissy on the defensive again. Both of them playing so well, so accurately, and both of them so hungry out there, chasing everything.
Time.
Well, here comes the last point.
Seats quickly,
and
please,
to try to smash.
Thank you.
And there is a winning volley, I think. Not a bit of it. Mrs. Lloyd gets it back, and there it comes. Remarkable recovery on the wide forehand of Mrs. Lloyd's. That.
Mrs. Lloyd to serve. Quiet, please. Thank you.
Betty Stove looks quite happy about that. She has every right to do. The girl who was in 3 finals in 1977 and didn't win any of them. Lost to Virginia Wade in the final.
Love 15. All.
In all the years I've seen Mrs. Lloyd playing, I don't think I've ever seen a player more controlled rally than that, finishing off with a sliced forehand that faded right away.
$30-15. $40-15.
No.
40-30. Game, Mrs. Lloyd. First game, second set. First set, Miss Mandlikova.
Well, I think in the past, when we've seen Hana Mandlikova playing as well as this and winning a first set, even though she had to struggle, we've seen rather a reaction in the beginning of the second set, I think, Anne.
Yes, but I think that that very long punishing rally at love 15 paved the way there for Chris to claw her way back into the match. She was suffering, obviously, from having lost that first set, and at love 15 she had every right to think that she might be in a lot of trouble, but she calmed herself and took control of that long baseline rally, winning it eventually, and that paved the way for her to win that game, a vital game for her. But I was thinking, Dan, that the 3 times they've played on grass, Chrissy has won easily and hasn't lost a set. But I'm wondering this year, with the sunshine and this very hard court, whether it favours Hana Mandlikova, because the ball is bouncing up rather like a cement court. And Hana, I think, is taking advantage of that.
Great service.
15 love.
And Hana Mandlikova certainly holding up well on the serve.
All.
And Chrissy here seizing her opportunity again. The low volley, getting the opportunity to plaster the Mandlikova forehand, and wrong foot so totally with the last one.
Out. 30-15.
Well, coverage of this match is continuing now on BBC Two.
Well,
30 all.
What's the preparation for this? Is it going to be a drive? No, it isn't. It's going to be a lob. Such a well-disguised lob that when you're anchored at the net like that, you really don't know what to do. 30 all. Ace number 4.
40-30. First service. Quiet, please. Deuce.
Evert-Lloyd taking due reward from short serve.
Advantage, Mrs. Lloyd.
And Chrissy doesn't need any second invitation, does she?
Mrs. Lloyd leads 2 games to love.
Slight weakness by her opponent, and she's there. Such an intelligent player.
Well, Mrs. Lloyd led 2-love in the first set. She also led at 4-3, but eventually lost it. Well, here's a recovery. She gets it back like that, and she has to chase an angled volley, and she gets it back somehow, but just saves herself from getting into the fence there. But such a good Lloyd volley, that. What a rally!
All.
And Hana scurrying all over the court, and Chrissy being as relentless as usual, driving for the lines, coming to the net, reading it so perfectly.
Thirty, 15.
Well,
30 all.
And that was terribly close, but it was given in. The most extravagant backhand on the run that you'll ever see, but it just caught the line. 30 all. She's done it again. Well, once again, Mrs. Lloyd brings off this most difficult of volleys, this high backhand volley, which she did earlier in the match, and gets this time an angle up to the line, whereas the one previously she played across court, high volley. Really brilliant volleying at times.
Game, Mrs. Lloyd. Ball change. Mrs. Lloyd leads 3-0, second set. First set, Miss Mandlikova.
7 games to 6, and the tiebreak was 7-5, and I'm beginning to wonder, they've been on court an hour and 8 minutes, I'm beginning to wonder how long they can play at this pace. They're playing at a tremendous pace and hitting the ball really very hard indeed.
And I think too, Dan, intelligent as Chris is, she realises that she has to get to the net some of the time. Because if not, then Hana just takes her time and comes in when she wants to. This way, Chrissy is there, pressing her opponent, making her opponent play the passing shots, which sometimes Hana is brilliant with, but sometimes they get a little wild. If Chrissy stays back, then Hana can choose her own moment to come to the net. This way, Hana has to press too. And I think Chris is reaping the rewards.
Time.
So, and it has to be said that Hana, at love 3 down in the second set, she hasn't really played any worse than she played when winning the first set. It's just that I think Chris has stepped up her own pace. It's lovely to see both players rising to the challenge and enjoying it on the centre court.
Love 15. $15 all. $30-15. 40,
Yes.
15.
And that's Hannah's 5th ace. The standard of serving throughout the match has been very high.
Game, Miss Mandlikova. Mrs. Lloyd leads 3 games to 1.
And now Hannah will be looking now for a great chance to come in and break the serve.
Love.
Oh, yeah.
15 all.
And how nice to hear this. Here it comes. She says, oh, yeah. And Mrs. Lloyd, always one of the first to pay a compliment to her opponent. Quite definitely. Oh, yes, she said.
$15.30.
Too long?
15.40.
Good service.
30-40. Game, Miss Mandlikova. Mrs. Lloyd leads 3 games to 2, second set. First set, Miss Mandlikova.
Well, that last forehand of Hana Mandlikova's was the most blistering forehand, and it was great length, and it penetrated, and it forced Mrs. Lloyd into a really bad piece of timing, but it was a great shot. And here, we'll see it here. That's a good serve. She reaches it, blocks the return. Mrs. Lloyd in position. Doesn't quite get enough length on that, and in Hannah goes. No, she doesn't. She stays back. And Mrs. Lloyd comes across, but doesn't get the angle. And here comes that flashing winner, and Mrs. Lloyd ducks. The ball shoots a bit. Penetration beat her quite definitely. And so Hannah is back right in this second set, having broken the serve there to 30.
Time.
Hannah really giving the forehand of Chris Lloyd a pasting again. And she seems in such great control of her own ground strokes. Well, a good service game here would level things at 2-3, second set. And Hannah, in this
15
point,
love.
having the answer for everything that Chris throws at her. The lob goes up, beautiful rhythmic racket movement. 15 love.
All.
Well, Hannah looked across at the line judge. She hesitated but recovered and played the shot. It's 15 all. Certainly mustn't let that disturb her concentration.
$15-30.
What a match this is. As soon as you think one player is in control, the other bounces back. So deep, that shot of Hannah's. Unbelievable how Chrissy played that shot.
2 break points. Oh, no.
Mrs. Lloyd. Mrs. Lloyd leads 4-2.
And Chris steps into this one. Not a bad serve, but the treatment it got.
(4-2), second set.
Love.
Oh.
15 all. $30-15. $30 all. $30-40.
What a wonderful use of the width of the court there by Hana Mandlikova. Well, the quality of this rally is unbelievable.
Deuce.
And there you'll find the most accurate forehand pass. But the whole rally was a joy, a real joy to behold.
Advantage, Mrs. Lloyd. Game, Mrs. Lloyd. Mrs. Lloyd leads 5 games to 2, second set. First set, Miss Mandlikova.
Now, just for a few seconds, and a few seconds only, we're going to take you away from the centre court to Edgbaston to see Mike Gatting a few moments ago on 99 facing Kapildev. Here's Kapildev, the Indian captain. So captain bowling to captain, and Gatting needs 1 for his century. Turns it off his legs, and there's the 100 up for Gatting. In fact, he gets 2. Gatting 101, a real captain's innings. Remember that England started this morning disastrously. They were 0 for 2. And now Gatting at 101 takes the score to 237 for 5. And that's Gatting's 5th Test century, even the scorers joining in the applause for a captain's innings. 2 sixes, 14 fours. So England, at that point, 237 for 5 in their first innings. We return to the centre court, where Hana Mandlikova must serve now to stay in the second set.
Quiet, please. Thank you.
Hana Mandlikova to serve. 2-5, second set.
15 love. $30 love.
Ace number 6.
$40 love. Game, Miss Mandlikova. Mrs. Lloyd leads 5 games to 3.
Hana is the world's number 2 player and the number 2 seed, equal to the test of holding her serve to take it, to take the set, make it 1-0.
Chris
Love
acknowledging
15.
this superb volley by Hana. She moves behind it beautifully, doesn't take her eye off the ball, and puts it straight in the open space.
I must say,
Love 30.
the high backhand volleying on both sides of the net have been really very fine. There's a lovely example of it. Mrs. Lloyd has played her part in that department of the game too so well, but it's love 30.
love 40. First service. Game, Miss Mandlikova. Mrs. Lloyd leads 5-4, second set. First set, Miss Mandlikova.
Mrs. Lloyd suffering there, an almost perfect game by her opponent. The 3 points that she won, a backhand cross-court volley, then a high backhand volley, then another backhand volley. That was 3 winning points, and then Mrs. Lloyd hit one into the net.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Down 5-2 up for Chrissy, and that's 2 love games she's lost. She will not be pleased with that, but I think that, as you rightly say, it's due to the Hana Mandlikova sudden upsurge. She just adds that little bit of extra pace to her ground shots, and this in turn forces Chris to hurry just that little bit, forces Chris to snatch the ball, and this then gives Hana the opening that she works for.
Time.
The crowd engrossed in this ripping duel. Four, 5, second set.
Love. First service. Love.
And a very big hand for a truly magnificent half volley. And that's 10 successive points the server has won.
Love.
We really are seeing some super fine tennis.
Miss Mandlikova. Five games all.
So from 2-5, a run of 3 games, all of them love. So that's 12 points in a row for Hana Mandlikova.
Quiet, please. Thank you. Love 15. Love 30.
Husband John Lloyd in the middle of that gallery there must be worried, a worried man.
$15.30.
Just out.
15.40. $30.40. Miss Mandlikova. Miss Mandlikova leads 6-5, second set, by 1 set to love.
And in the middle of a most astonishing purple patch, Hana Mandlikova. And Chrissy here, she cracked a bit there, and no wonder. She was up against some of the finest tennis I've seen on this centre court from a woman.
Well, one's left wondering what reserves Chrissy has now. She really gave away the first 2 points in the last game. And you can't afford to do that at this stage in the match. But Hannah, it has to be said, is playing the most superb tennis. She's raised her game at 2-5. She hardly made a mistake. And that, at this stage in the match, is incredible. Is she going to sustain it through this next game? What a moment for her, serving for the match at 6-5. And if you wondered what reserves of strength Chris had, there's your answer.
Love 30. Out. 15-30. All.
Six-5, 30-all, second set.
40-30.
That very fine serve Gives Hana Mandlikova match point.
Quiet, please. Thank you. Quiet, please.
Oh!
Deuce.
What an astonishing shot to try. An angled drop volley on
Quiet,
match point
please.
when
Thank you.
half the court was open in the backhand corner.
Advantage, Mrs. Lloyd.
More
Quiet,
forehand,
please.
forehand approach given out.
Deuce.
What a lovely kicking serve there.
Quiet, please. Advantage, Miss Mandlikova.
For the second time, match point.
Game, set, match, Miss Mandlikova. Miss Mandlikova wins 2 sets to love, 7-6, 7-5.
So an astonishing match. An hour and 39 minutes of a really wonderful semi-final. And so the second seed has gone out, Mrs. Lloyd, who was determined this time, I think, to try and make sure she won one Wimbledon before thoughts of retiring. But her opponent today has the chance of completing 4 Grand Slams when she plays in the final. She's won the other 3, Australia, America and France, but never Wimbledon.
So a great triumph for the number 3 seed Hana Mandlikova, and in the final we shall have 2 ladies, both born in Czechoslovakia, Martina Navratilova against Hana Mandlikova, and so this great European Wimbledon continues in the men's. This time she will play Martina Navratilova. That's on Saturday, but here is Hana now talking with Joel Williams.
I suppose it was typical of you that on the first match point you had to play some unbelievable touch volley.
Well, what do you mean me? I don't really think about what kind of points I'm playing, but I think I played a good match today and I'm very happy.
But when you did that unnerve you at all?
Well, you know, that's the way I am. I mean, the ball was very low. There was not really, I was not at the ball very early, so I couldn't pick it up at the highest moment. So that was actually the most thing I had to do, you know, just flick it over, I mean, flick it, go under it and go cross-court. So I really didn't worry about that at all. I just was concentrating on the match.
But you say that's the way you are, but you really are quite a changed person, aren't you?
I hope not. I hope not. I think I'm still the same Hana. I just grow up a little bit more.
Well, that's what I meant, really.
Oh, okay.
Because you have, haven't you? Both on the court and off it.
Well, you know, when I was here in the finals '81, I was 18 years old, and it was different. Now I, you know, went through playing Grand Slam tournaments, and I felt the nervousness inside when I was match points, and I went through it. So it's different, you know. I can handle myself a little bit better than I did when I was 18 years old.
I mean, when you got to the final 5 years ago, I think the first thing you did almost was to call your parents and get them over.
Yes, that's the first thing I wouldn't do.
You wouldn't do it now?
No, I think that was the biggest mistake I did. But it told me not to do it because it would break my concentration and everything. But I was so excited and happy that I called them and they just flew over. But this time I know they were watching my match, and they, you know, they with me and they want me to win, and so they're just gonna nicely stay home and watch me on TV.
Where do they watch? Because I think the match was probably not shown on Czech television.
They're having a special